everybody, Karen Roby and Greg Nichols here for ZDNet. We're talking today about drones and specifically drones being used in warehouses. And Greg, just to start here, just to make sure I've got this correct, the drones, aerial drones, will be working in factories and warehouses very soon.
Yeah, it's actually an interesting extension of this field of collaborative robotics. So collaborative robotics has sort of transformed the modern economy in a lot of different ways. It's enabled kind of lightning fast shipping, and increasing productivity in a variety of manufacturing sectors and the logistics sector. So just to aside real quick, collaborative robots are different than their industrial robotic forebears in that they can operate outside of cages alongside humans, kind of right next to you on the line. So the question is, what happens when those robots that are working alongside humans are also kind of whizzing through the air at these perilous speeds that you might find with drones? And it turns out that's a future that's not that far off. In fact, it's a future that in some ways is already here. There's a company called PINC that uses those initials, PINC, uses drones for inventory analysis within logistics warehouses, as well as kind of some other environments. So they're checking the shelves, the stock, to see what's out of stock, what kind of merchandise they have for fulfillment. So the role of drones is set to grow far beyond that in factories and warehouses, and that's really what I wrote about this week.
All right, Greg, so developers, how are they tackling that challenge then?
Yeah, so this is really where this technology of motion capture comes in. This is one way it's being deployed right now. So with the help of motion capture technology, manufacturers are getting like visual and data evidence that's really vital to guiding the insights of how humans move and how drones can sort of track humans in real life environments. So I covered this company called Vicon, VICON, which makes motion capture systems. And they recently teamed up with a university in Germany whose name I'm not able to pronounce, but it's the Technische Universität du Dortmund. I'll call it TU for short. So this university is really looking at innovative ways to approach the coexistence of drones and robots and people in warehouse environments. And the research program that's based in TU's Innovation Lab is this kind of interdisciplinary research center that's equipped with Vicon's motion capture system. So they've got like 40 motion capture cameras in this space. And they're also, they have like drone tracking software, and they're really analyzing how drones and people can interact in an environment. So there's this standout demo with a person in a motion capture suit. And think like the dude with ping pong balls all over his suit, like you would see in a movie behind the scenes trailer, for example. They're walking through this swarm of about a dozen drones that are flying autonomously. And it's like a harrowing sight, right? Like 12 drones buzzing around at kind of lightning speed with these death rotors spinning at thousands of RPMs. It looks like something bad's going to happen. But like clockwork, what happens is these drones get out of the way of the subject, which really showcases the drone's ability to react kind of almost immediately, instantaneously, thanks to all the data captured by these cameras, which are running at about 300 frames per second. And kind of simultaneously, the system is processing all of this data in real time so that you have this really precise reactivity. So it's a demonstration to show how motion capture can really become this redundant system to a drone's onboard sensors. You know, drones are going to have cameras, potentially even things like LiDAR mapping kind of built within them. But this can be kind of a redundant system, and the information can be used as a reference system to kind of safely use drones in the warehouse environment to check that the drone sensors are working accurately, and to sort of improve the positional placement of these drones and facilitate the decision-making process that the drones have to do to avoid the humans. So we're really seeing a combination of drone sensors and motion capture in these environments, which is really cool.
Okay, Greg, so we're seeing a combination of drone sensors and motion capture. So will it be that every warehouse will have to have both systems?
Actually, maybe not. What's happening at the research level, at least, in these kind of laboratories and proving grounds, is that motion capture and these onboard machine vision on drones is really allowing developers to teach machine learning programs to anticipate human movements, which again are often really, really erratic. So the lab also employs machine learning technology so that the drones can sort of recognize what activities humans are doing, such as like carrying boxes or conveying goods from one end of a warehouse or factory to another. And this enables the development of safety protocols and creates this flexibility so that in the future the drones won't really need like a fixed infrastructure of cameras kind of at every corner of a warehouse, but instead will understand how to navigate an environment by understanding what humans are kind of about to do, almost reading the future, which is really cool. And then you can have fewer cameras, not to say none, but fewer cameras kind of observing the warehouse environment. So yeah, I talked to this guy, Christopher Raming, who's a research associate at TU, and he suggested that there are sort of far-reaching implications for this technology, which includes both manufacturing and the logistics industries. And I think you're going to see drones working alongside people in a lot of different sectors, even in like retail before too long. Which is really cool. But if all that sounds like it might be a little bit too futuristic, like it's not really going to come down the pike anytime soon, I guess I would remind you that even within the robotics industry, which is kind of this tight-knit and very future-looking industry, people were very skeptical only a few years ago that robots could be working alongside humans without cages to protect them. And now that's commonplace in a ton of sectors like light manufacturing and fulfillment, warehouse logistics, which are kind of precisely the sectors that these drones are kind of first being targeted at. So I think we're going to be seeing these drones at factories and warehouses pretty quickly here.
All right, some really interesting stuff there, Greg. Thank you so much. If you want to read Greg's full article on drones being used in warehouses and factories, make sure you check out his article there on ZDNet. Thanks for watching.